Hey everyone, it's Eric from Flywheel Studio here. I wanted to make a video today going through how I put RevenueCat into a DreamFlow app. Okay, so the first thing is if you don't know DreamFlow, that's kind of a different video. You'll definitely want to go check that out on your own. But within DreamFlow, what I was able to do is I provided DreamFlow the documentation, just the links directly from RevenueCat. And I followed the guide that Flutterflow already has and the guides within RevenueCat. So I set everything up in the App Store. I set everything up in RevenueCat. And then I came to my mobile application and I said, here's the RevenueCat links, get it done. It did a good job. It wasn't perfect and it didn't work every single time exactly as I intended. That might have been a difference between the way I wanted it to work and the way it wanted it to work. I can't even tell you which way it was, but I'm going to show you some tips and tricks to getting this implemented. The first thing is DreamFlow can take links. Okay. So if you are trying to do this in Flutter, you'll want to use the Flutter links. And then you'll also just want to make sure that you're going through the right sections here. So when you're going into the mobile SDKs, like the Flutter one, you have to initialize it and you have to import purchases, but you also have, there's more work than just that, right? So you want to show a paywall and you need to provide that information to call the paywall and show the paywall. So here, um, somewhere, you can see build a paywall, RevenueCat paywalls, installation, and the Flutter installation. And then again, you'll want to share this link as well. It's not just here's the initialization link, the initial link, you have to share the other links as well. And then the second thing that was really helpful is because I couldn't really test this in web because my paywall is on iOS, the second thing that's really helpful is running console and connecting your phone to your computer and just looking at the errors here. Okay, so we're going to try this, and I hope it works. I did not pre-test this, but let's have a go. Sign this up, and let's have the user go through this. Okay, and now you can see our paywall loading, and then I can go and make a purchase. And perfect. Now that will show up in RevenueCat now. Earlier, I was hitting a bunch of errors. Having the console was critical to actually debugging those. Okay. I had the API key was incorrectly set, and there were some other errors. I was able to take all of this and run it through our assistant on Somara, but you could use any AI. And that was able to provide some review about how I should do this and some better ways. I also asked DreamFlow to add some more debugging code here. Overall, I think maybe I spent somewhere between 10 to 20 tokens on this implementation. If I were to do it again, I think it would probably be less. So to recap, if you want to add RevenueCat, first thing is you'll need to make sure you set up RevenueCat and the App Store separately on its own. Okay. Obviously, DreamFlow is not going to do any of that for you. So follow the RevenueCat guides, do it really closely. Secondly, you can share the links here from RevenueCat directly in the DreamFlow, and then you just tell DreamFlow what you want. Third, make sure that you're really specific about where you want things to appear and how you want them to appear. So I was really clear that I want this to show up in the onboarding process on my paywall, which is the one that you see here. Okay. And secondly, if the user is not paid and they leave and they come back to the application instead of loading the home screen, I also want them to load the paywall. Regardless, you just need to be specific and understand that you don't have the granular FlutterFlow builder where you're going to choose where all of these things are if you're using the agent here. So you'll want to make sure that that basically as you are developing this, you are being very specific to DreamFlow how you want it to work, and then you can expect the best results.